We got some reason to believe that Baltimore might be making some major changes before Thursday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And the reason we're believing that is, well, it came from the head honcho just yesterday. Jeff Zrebiec tweeting this out. Harbaugh said everything is on the table with rookie third-round pick offensive lineman Emory Jones, and that includes using him in a potential starting rotation. Jones was active for the first time on Sunday, but did not play against the New York Jets. And I just got to start off by saying, ladies and gentlemen, this is incredibly exciting. In fact, if you've watched this show for any amount of time, you know that this is the news I've been waiting for a very, very long time. And although nothing is official, nothing is set in stone, I am happy to at least hear Harbaugh discussing this, those words coming out of his mouth. Now, not to put a damper on the excitement that we've got going on between you and I right now, but this is John Harbaugh that we are talking about, and this is a subject that he's been extremely wishy-washy on. Don't believe me? This is him literally a week ago. He said you put the best 5 players out there, and the 5 guys who are playing the best, that's what you do. That's not even a hard answer. Yeah, we're putting the best 5 players out there, and they're playing pretty darn good. None of our positions are perfect, but they're trying to be. We put our best group out there, and we fight. And we know the first kind of discussion of this came after the game against the Texans. John Harbaugh said, yeah, it's something that's always on the table. You know, these guys are playing for their positions. They're playing for their starting spot every single game. And then last week he said they're playing pretty darn good, even though they're not. And now this week he's saying, you know what? We might be able to make some changes. That includes Emory Jones. And we all know that this is something that needs to happen. And if you don't believe me, just look at the injury report for your QB1. Now, I'm not saying every single one of these injuries are because of the offensive line, but when you're pressured the amount that Lamar Jackson is, it's not very hard to stay in these. Week 4, hamstring. Week 11, knee. Week 12, ankle. Week 13, toe. It's just something new every single week. It seems to be going further down his body. Hamstring, knee, ankle, toe. It's like that old song. Hamstrings, knees and ankles, toes, ankles, toes. You know what I'm saying. Guys, he does not have the time of the day to throw in the pocket. He just doesn't. Not this year. 37.9% quarterback pressure rate. Second highest in his career. And if you take down his rookie year, when he wasn't the starter, then it would be the highest. This team is allowing a 41.6 no blitz pressure rate, which is last in the NFL. And I don't want to put it all on one person, but a lot of it is because of our right guard, Daniel Faalele. Coming up, we got more Faalele fails. It is a segment that we go to a lot on this show because it is just, it's an unbelievable place of content. You can never run out of Faalele looking like a horrible offensive lineman. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. If this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe because if you subscribe today, that helps us out in our Week 13 Sub Battle. This thing's going to be over in just 2 days, and right now we're down even more than we were yesterday. If you hate the Bengals, if you love the Ravens, and you want us to be victorious on Thursday night, that starts right here. I challenge you, flock. Can we get this win? Help me out. Subscribe to the show. All right, let's get into Daniel Faalele. It is time for Faalele Fails. We need like a jingle and some music to come on behind that because we pretty much do this every single week because we've got content on this every single week. So here, you will see it's just a classic running back stretch play. On the right, I got Daniel Faalele circled. He is just hilarious to watch in open space because he always just constantly is touching nothing, but he's looking back and forth, and shuffling. You got Andrew Voorhees, the left guard. He's circled on the left side of your screen. I drew arrows for you. On each guy, they're supposed to be blocking, okay? Daniel Faalele is supposed to get up to that second level, block who I believe is that safety right there, and Andrew Voorhees' guy is right in front of him to his right. And what happens? Faalele doesn't move. Like he just kind of stays still, kind of stays stagnant, and then Andrew Voorhees gets way out in front of himself, gets his body weight forward, falls forward, and then his guy just slips him, ends up making the tackle, and then Faalele's guy is there to just clean this thing up. Guys, both of the guards have had trouble this year, and both of the guards had trouble against the New York Jets. Here's another one from Daniel Faalele. This one might be my favorite so far this season. This one, he literally tackles Derrick Henry. So right here, he's going to climb into that second level. He's in charge of that linebacker, okay? He gets to there, and then he does what Daniel Faalele likes to do, is just get his weight forward and just fully extend his arms, putting himself perfectly out of position. He gets slipped, and he starts chasing after his blocking assignment. This is the funniest part. Like, this guy's past him, and Faalele literally is chasing him. He's got his hands outstretched there. What are you going to do? Block him in the back? And he actually doesn't do that. He just lowers his shoulder and trucks Derrick Henry. Guys, I cannot believe this guy has a job. I cannot believe it. Because this isn't anything new. If you wanted it, I could show you examples of this from week 1, week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, by week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every single week, we're talking about. I started it last week, but I'm going to continue talking about the conspiracy that the only reason he's playing in this lineup is because John Harbaugh, before this year, bet his over on starts in a season. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. But in all seriousness, look, Lamar Jackson is not himself, and the offensive line does not help. When it comes to replacing Daniel Faalele, like, it can't get worse. It really can't. You've got a guard who misses blocks. He's out of position. Not only does he miss blocks, but he kind of doesn't even touch anybody. Like, he doesn't even really try to block. He's tackling your running back. It can't get much worse. And your solution, you got a pretty damn good one. Could be Emory Jones. Could be your new starting left guard. Could be your new starting right guard. He was a third-round pick in the 2025 NFL draft out of LSU. At LSU in Death Valley, he was a 3-year starter, made 36 total starts, not the guards position though, at the right tackle position, funny enough. 2024 second team All-SEC player. This is a guy that I was really excited once you drafted him, but drafting him came with a little bit of pause because he underwent shoulder surgery in March, right after the NFL Combine, or actually it might have been right before. So right around the NFL Combine. I think it was after. Because of that, he wasn't a participant in minicamp. He started the season on the non-football injury list. Then he went to the injured reserve to start the season. His practice window opened up over a month and a half ago on October 1st. He was activated for his first game, and now he can play. And he said he's good to go anywhere. Right? He has no preference for his position. He will go where he is needed. He said that to Jonas Schaefer. He said, I'm finally here. I'm feeling good. Well, Emory, not going to lie to you, we need you, my friend. We need you back. But there's a lot of excitement surrounding this draft pick. I partook in it. One of the reasons for that was because I liked him coming out of college, but a former NFL GM went on a PFF podcast and said an Emory Jones sitting there in the third round of 91, if he doesn't start this year because he's got some developmental components to his game, I think he's going to start the next 8 to 10. Some very, very high and very kind words for a rookie that I am hopeful to see in this starting lineup sometime soon. Will Emory Jones start Thursday against Cincinnati? Let me know by giving me a yes or a no in the comments section. I don't think he will start Thursday, but I think after the long week, possible he starts against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, coming up, we got more to talk about, more rookies to talk about, actually. We got an elite pair of edges, it seems, and the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to tell you who they are and why I feel that in just a couple of seconds. Before that, I got to give a massive shout-out to our awesome friends today, our great friends over at PrizePicks. It is the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen. The best time of the year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. That's PrizePicks. My wife couldn't even name 4 pro teams before this season. Then we started playing on PrizePicks, and now every Saturday night, we're breaking down who she's picking for her lineup on Sunday. It's the most exciting way to watch football. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want more flexibility, choose Flex Play. But if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Here's my PrizePicks lineup for Thursday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Give them more on 25.5 rush yards for Lamar Jackson. I know he's hurt. I know he hasn't been running the ball well recently. I think that breaks, okay? I think that changes on Thursday. Give them more on 25.5 yards, longest reception for Jamar Chase. And I'm feeling good about the King. Give me more than 17.5 rushing attempts. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, we got to shine some light on a couple of edge rushers because let's not lie, the season started off pretty poorly for them. But Mike Green, Emory Jones, since you added him in trade and since Mike Green's gotten a little bit more run, man, they've looked really, really good. They combined for 9 pressures, 2.5 sacks on Monday's game against the New York Jets. And Mike Green, man, in his last 2 healthy games, Week 10, Week 12, totaled 8 quarterback pressures. That's more than he did in the first 9 weeks of the season. 4 pressures against the Jets. PFF actually had him with 5 against New York. This, in my opinion, is going to be the difference in the season. Now, obviously, we've been really happy with how this defense has been playing. And it kind of feels like the offense is the part of the football that needs to kind of step things up over this last stretch. But also, the pass rush, let's not act like they've actually been very good this year. Because they haven't. 18 sacks, 128 quarterback pressures, quarterback pressure rate of 29.4%. Those are bottom half of the league, bottom 5 in the league statistics in all of those categories, okay? This still needs a major improvement. But the fact that now you've got 2 guys, one you just brought in Emory Jones, one that you drafted, kind of did not play very well in his first couple of weeks, but seems like he's coming into his own, you have reason to feel like those numbers are going to change. And while you might be 29th in sacks right now, 28th in sacks, hell, if you can finish this season in the top 20, because that's a massive improvement from where you are now, I would be thrilled with that, okay? Because we know this isn't directly correlated with Super Bowl wins, but if you're going to hoist a Lombardi trophy, the odds are you got a pretty good pass rush. Don't believe me? Look at the last 5 Super Bowl winners. 2024 season, Eagles, 41 sacks. They actually were barely even top half. But then Chiefs, 2 years straight, 2nd in the NFL. Rams, 3rd in the NFL. Bucks, 5th in the NFL. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation. I'm not saying you can't win a Super Bowl without a top pass rushing unit, but it helps. And there's a reason that those that hoist the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season typically can get to the quarterback. You think this team will end at 29.5 sacks for the Ravens? They got 18 right now. That's 12 in their last 6 games. 2 a game. Okay? Right now, they've got 18 through the first 11 games, Gage. So, that's step up in the average. You let me know down below. Give me a more or less. Let's go ahead. Play PrizePicks for me. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you got me followed on socials. At Joey Peters Nate on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Daily videos right here at the Baltimore Ravens.